Hello everyone. So we're gonna go today through making Stationeers compile in Unity. So the first thing we're going to do is rip a new copy of the game. So using Asset Ripper, once you open up the exe, you can use the free version. It'll open up a local host where you can click on File, Open File, and then you can navigate to the Stationeers directory and just click on the Rocket Station exe. Now I am doing this on the beta version, so if you're doing this on the main, there might be slight differences, but it shouldn't be that much. And once you click on the exe, Asset Ripper is going to go through and load everything up. So once you've got this green button over here that tells you that everything's loaded up, you can click on Export, Export All Files. And then over here, you can select a directory. So we're going to go ahead and select the folder. And I'm just going to make a new Stationeers Export Data folder over here, and then select the folder, and then we'll click Export Unity Project. Once you click that, it's going to go through and export all these files as a Unity project. All right, and it is almost finished. There we go. So we're just gonna wait until it says that it finished exporting over here. Finished post export. So once it does that, you can go ahead and close Asset Ripper, and you can navigate to the folder. So in our case, it was Stationeers Export Beta. And then we're going to go inside this exported project folder, grab the directory, and then we're going to go ahead and open up Unity. So inside Unity, we're going to go ahead and click the Add button up here, Add Project from Disk, and then we're just going to target the directory that we copied earlier and click Open. Once you click on the project in the Unity Hub, Unity is just going to start loading, and it is going to take around 5 minutes, depending on your PC, to load everything up. So I'll be back once this is done. If you get any consent requests where it tells you it needs to update assemblies, click Yes. If it tells you to enter safe mode, click Ignore. Alright, so my project has finished exporting. So, immediately, if we take a look in the console over here, we can see 5 errors. These 2 errors, the on particle update job schedule, can be ignored. The other 3 is what we're going to solve next. So if you see over here, this is complaining from the standalone file browser, which is something that is available on GitHub. So if you look up standalone file browser GitHub and then go to the Unity standalone file browser and simply download this entire zip, open up the zip, and then within it, navigate to Assets, Standalone File Browser, and then copy this plugins folder. So we're going to copy this plugins folder. Right, so as you guys can see, it tells us that the error is stemming from assets, plugins, assembly C# first pass. So let's go ahead and navigate to that folder. So assets, plugins, right here, assembly C# first pass, and then SFB for standalone file browser. And over here, simply paste the plugins folder that we earlier copied from the zip. And these three errors should disappear. If it tells you if it wants some consent to update some scripts, just click yes for these and other files that might be found later. There we go. So now we have a lot of warnings which seem to have disappeared. Now we have another warning, which is yelling about an invalid expression term ref in keymanager.cs. So simply double clicking on the error will open up the according script, and it is telling us that it is on line 245. So we'll find line 245 right here, and there is the ref keyword. We're gonna go ahead and delete the ref keyword. Save the script and you can exit from that one. For the warnings, I'm gonna go ahead and disable the warnings. Now we have another issue where the type or namespace name IC# code could not be found. And this is because there is a zipping library that Stationeers uses now that doesn't export when you export it. So we're gonna go ahead and download that now. So back over to the internet. It is called sharp zip lib, and it is also on GitHub. I'll leave these links down below in the description for you guys. So once you're on the sharp zip lib repo, simply download the zip over to downloads, and we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna open up the zip into the folder, and then in source, copy this entire thing, this entire plugin over here in source, and then over to plugins, and we're just gonna put it in plugins over here. Right, so that got those errors removed, and now we have another error. We're selling about a typespace name web browser. Now for our case, since we're not trying to get the game to compile to build it, we're trying to get the game to compile so we can take a look at scripts on prefab and see how the developers have set things up. We don't care about it, so we're just gonna go ahead and delete the using mono web browser reference up here in the streaming asset loader. Now it's gonna ask for another script updating consent. Just click yes for these and other files. Right, so once we solve that previous error, Unity is going to compile and we're gonna get 71 errors now. Now, most of these errors are ambiguous references between asset scripts network and Unity engine.network. So to solve it, what we're going to do is that we're gonna tell network to use asset scripts network instead of Unity engine network. So the way to do that is we'll just double click on one of these errors that is throwing an ambiguous reference error, and just down here below using Unity engine, what we're going to do is network using network is equals to assets scripts network. So assets scripts network, and then we're just gonna end it with a semicolon over here. And we can copy this line since it is multiple files that have this issue. And we are just going to go through all the errors that are throwing ambiguous references between network, and we're going to do the same thing for them. That should get the errors down from around 71 to 11.
So it's mostly just ambiguous references now, and we are almost done with all of them. I think this might be the last ambiguous reference.
So there we go. That's all the ambiguous references errors gone. So now we're going to go through these errors one by one. So let's go ahead and start with the type or namespace name exception could not be found in streaming asset loader. So simply just clicking on the error, and then just at the top over here, add a reference to system. So using system. That's going to solve this issue. So both those errors are gone. And now we have this one over here in streaming asset loader, where object is an ambiguous reference between Unity Engine object and object. So we're going to go ahead and solve that. And for this one, we are going to do using object is equals to Unity Engine dot object. There we go. Don't forget the semicolon, everyone. So semicolon. All right, and now we have, we're almost done, by the way. So now let's go ahead and deal with this celestial does not contain a definition for _002 hectare. And simply what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and delete this block of code over here from line 21 to 29, and we're going to rewrite it because it has a broken constructor. So just follow what I'm doing. Public celestial body, and then we're going to pass in the orbital simulation, and we're going to call it simulation, and then we're also going to pass in celestial body template, and we're going to call it body template. And then right below here, base bodyTemplate.Id, and then bodyTemplate.Name does not equal null, string bodyTemplate.Name bodyTemplate.Id simulation. And then over here, we're going to open up curly brackets. And you can just follow what the autosuggester does. So _bodyTemplate is equals to bodyTemplate. And then orbit is equals to new orbit. And then bodyTemplate.OrbitData. Like that. And then last but not least, true anomaly is equals to bodyTemplate.LongitudeAtEpoch. There we go. So that's the fixed constructor. There we go. That gets rid of the error that we were dealing with. Let's go ahead and deal with the character customization manager for the async operation issues. So the async operation does not contain a definition for getAwaiter. And that is simply because we don't have a reference to C#, which I'm still unsure if they've actually removed C# or if they're still using it. But it seems that it's still in the project, so either way. In character customization manager, you just need a reference to sci-sharp.threading.tasks. So using sci-sharp.threading.tasks actually, and then semicolon. And that's gonna get rid of these async operations. And then we're almost done. We've got issues from settings.cs, where it's yelling about the raw speaker mode is not being supported. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna look up for raw, and then we're gonna take the audio speaker mode.raw. We're gonna take that, we're gonna search for it in the entire file, and we're just gonna replace it with stereo. Just like that. Stereo. And we're gonna replace. So 3 occurrences replaced, save. And now we only have one error left, which is in the game manager. For zip constants does not contain a definition for default code page. Which is at line 1287. So if we go all the way over to line 1287 right here. So what we're gonna do over here, instead of it being default code page, and instead of it being zip constants, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do zip strings dot code page. And that should be it. I'm gonna save the game manager. Zip strings does not contain a definition for code page. Oh, that's because code page is supposed to be a capital P over here. And as you guys can see, now it's taking its time compiling, which is a good thing. This means that it's actually being able to go through and access all the scripts, and it is properly compiling them. Now do note that getting the scripts to compile is the only thing that we're doing here. We're not doing this for the purpose of building the game, obviously. Nor do I encourage anyone to try, since this is not our game. Like we don't own it unless you're part of Rocketworks. We're doing this for modding purposes, to make modding easier, because being able to click on a prefab and see how the prefab is set up by the developers has helped me immensely in my own mods when modding Stationeers. And in fact, if you do try to build it and or if you do try playing the project in Unity, it isn't going to work. Unity will just crash. Because like I said, these fixes that we've done are mainly to get the scripts to compile so we can take a look at how things are set up. They are not done for building the game fully from the ground up. So I'll be back with you guys once this thing is done. Right, so that importing thing is done, and now we have another errors, which this one is actually easy. So it's complaining about librocketnet assembly, unknown assembly. So believe it or not, we don't actually have to deal with this at all. So the project has technically compiled now. So if we go ahead and take a look at a prefab, so game object, we can take a look at like a, I don't know, we can take a look at a, we can take a look at the item advanced tablet. If we open it up, you can see on the right side over here, we have everything. The scripts have compiled, and we have everything the same way that the devs have set them up. With all the values, with everything as it is in the project over at Rocketworks headquarters. This is the only thing that we were trying to achieve in this video, right? So we're not going to deal with these errors because, again, we're not building the game, nor do we intend to. Now, I mean, this does sadly mean that you can't directly develop your mod directly in the exported project and then try it out by clicking play. But that is a small price to pay for all the access that we get just by doing a few simple steps, right? Because being able to see how things are structured and what they've done to achieve certain things really helps with modding. So, I mean, if you guys enjoyed this video and if you found it helpful, don't do anything. I really don't care if you like the video or not. So, yeah, see you guys later.